Hey everybody, welcome to Chapter 7, Lesson 7, History 7.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Mr. Penka still.
And I'm still Mr. Knor. Sorry.
Yep, nothing changed. This is the end of the Depression, the key features of the New Deal. Anything you want to say about, in general, the New Deal?
Well, it's really, in a sense, not the end of the Depression. It's the means to hopefully get there, but
It's a coping.
Yeah.
It helps us get through it.
Yeah, but
The idea is that people have been dealt a bad hand, like in cards, and now we're going to deal them some new cards.
Right.
The dealer is Franklin Roosevelt.
National consecration. And I am certain that on this day, my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the presidency, I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our people impels. Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed effort to convert retreat into advance. This nation is asking for action, and action now.
This guy, famous for his fireside chats where he would help teach America about all the stuff we've been teaching you about.
married his second cousin, Eleanor
Come on.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And so we're starting on the cruise tomorrow. What's our campaign slogan, Sissy?
Happy days are here again.
Wonderful,
bring that up.
wonderful woman.
Tall.
His famous quote, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
And any kind of
Spiders.
things that you get from marrying your second cousin.
I'm afraid of spiders. Clowns.
Clowns. Spiders with clown faces really scare me.
So he served for 4 terms. And the New Deal is his one of his legacies. So the mnemonic here is the deals. The Depression required environmental improvement plan. This is all about putting people to work. The New Deal helps people escape their fears by giving them something to do. One of them is clean up the environment. If you're going to be doing work and the government's going to pay you for it, then you might as well help clean the place up.
All right, so you put people to work doing something useful like cleaning up or planting trees or building things. And so people had jobs, and we made our country much nicer and much better.
So if you hike the Appalachian Trail,
Yeah.
that trail was largely developed through the New Deal. Doesn't hurt to doodle this stuff, guys.
What was the old deal? Was there
the bad hand? Like they dealt you a bunch of jacks and jokers,
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
some twos.
Wild cards. So after the environmental improvement plans, you get down to the letter A.
And don't forget, by the way, to write down that little stuff there, the CCC,
Right.
the trailblazing.
My dad worked for them. My dad
CCC?
was a CCC guy. Yeah,
So were my uncles.
he was over in Washington State, and so they built roads, and especially mountainous roads, places that weren't going to be worked on otherwise. It's like that's why we have Skyline Drive and all those places. CCC.
So the assistance programs, this just means programs that were designed to help the people who were in need of employment. So farm programs, helping out the farmers.
And they needed it.
Those hungry farmers banking their quarters.
Yeah.
We have federal work programs, putting people to work doing art. There are many murals that are around that were painted by artists.
Yeah, a lot of people were upset because they were saying, well, you know what? You're helping all these people like farmers and carpenters and stuff, but what about people who
Yeah,
have
so-
other talents, writers and photographers
So
and
these
artists?
little drawings here might help you out here. The tractor, the hard hat for construction, the book, people writing, paint, construction, all these things are part of federal work programs. Next, we have labor rights increasing with the merging of the AFL with the CIO. We've looked at the American Federation of Labor and their fight to get better wages and shorter hours and safer conditions.
And keeping those kids out.
Yeah, and now we find that they're improving their situation because the Depression's a good time to get some help from the government, and their labor rights are increasing.
So they join up with the CIO, who was the who?
Congress of Industrial Organizations. These are the low-skill jobs, the ones the AFL previously did not want to be associated with. AFL is the high-skilled workers, but now they find that they get much more done when they merge together into a super union.
Yeah, because everybody can help everybody now. And that group's still around.
So there we go.
The CIO is not the CIA, but if you want to remember it, by thinking of the AFL, the American Football League, merging with, I'm sorry. I should be,
CIO you won.
Yeah.
CIO.
CIO, CIO, CIOU, CIE.
Oh. Now, lastly, S.
S.
Social Security.
Well, yeah, I got one of those cards.
Yep.
Mine doesn't say John Doe.
I have mine. John's does.
Yeah.
So this is the card that all of you have. You all have this number, and when somebody
Not that number.
on the street, no, that's
Everybody has that same number?
Yep, that's my number right there. So if you want to go steal my identity, there it is. So yeah, this is your number that everyone has. If you're an American, you have a Social Security number, because this is kind of a savings thing. It kind of forces everyone to set aside some money, because many Americans weren't. They didn't trust the banks.
Yeah.
So this is the New Deal's way of saying we're going to help you learn about saving money.
So they take that money out of my paycheck before I ever see it,
Right.
and they stick it
Oh,
somewhere
you'll-
that I probably won't get,
You'll see it.
because eventually
Calm
the
down,
whole
old man.
system is
Calm
going to
down.
collapse, and I'm not going to have anything as an old man.
Who took my money?
Yeah,
I
that's what's
want
going to
my
happen.
money.
That's what I'll be yelling. So
That raccoon stole my glasses.
that's right. I'm a little upset about that.
So the Social Security program is still in effect today. That comes from the New Deal.
Ask your parents about it.
Yeah. And ask them to show you your card. You know,
Yeah.
it's your card.
Right. Don't leave home
But
without it.
if some stranger asked you for your number, some Nigerian prince,
Right, who's trying to, who's found a bunch of money and just needs your bank account to invest
Don't
it in.
give it to him.
Don't
So,
give it to him. Give Mr.
this
Penka.
is the New Deal. Hey, what's the deal with the New Deal? The Depression requires the New Deal. The New Deal doesn't actually fix it. World War II actually gets us out. But
this gets
more on
people-
that later.
Gives people help.